everybody. My name is Alexandra with This is Improv, and I am here with another episode of Talk About It Tuesday, where we talk about all things the arts and the people who love them. Today, I have a very special, very talented, very artistic guest with me today, James. Hello, James.
Hello. How's it going?
Going good. How's your day going?
Good. Funny enough, I had tacos for dinner tonight, so it worked out.
Goals, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is James Tyree. I go by James T Design pretty much everywhere on the internet. I am an artist first and foremost. During the day, I work in the patent industry and do some illustration work there. And then when I'm off that job, I basically just draw whatever I'm feeling. And I also stream on Twitch as well. So
awesome. So what got you into art?
So I guess it goes back to when I was very young. I was a child. And of course, like we all do, we, get obsessed with things that we see on TV, whether it's cartoons or movies or whatever. And as I was kind of, watching that stuff, I started, paying attention to what the characters look like. I kept trying to recreate them. I kept trying to draw them all the time. And, I would go through school and I would do, sports and Boy Scouts and whatever I was doing at the time. But the one thing that kind of stayed consistent all throughout my life was just drawing. I always loved drawing when I was able to. So as I got older, when I realized there are people that can actually, do this professionally, I decided to just go for it. And it kind of just snowballed from there. So
that's awesome. Did you in college, did you study, because I know you do graphic design. So did you study graphic design or were you in the arts department? What area?
Yeah, so I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in graphic design.
Okay.
So that's mainly what I focused on when I was there. Yeah.
And what's your favorite style to draw?
My favorite style. So I usually keep things pretty minimal all the way around. Like when I do graphic design, my designs are usually pretty simplistic with very few colors, because I feel like those colors are very important. So using too many sometimes detracts from it. And then when I just draw on my own time, when I draw my characters and things like that, I usually just go for usually a Western cartoon or even anime inspired drawings in terms of that stuff. So that's what I'm into.
Nice. Yeah. So talk to me. I haven't asked many of the artists on here this, but talk to me about color.
I guess the easiest way to explain that is in terms of graphic design. Okay. And I'm sure you've probably seen this a little bit when it comes to like branding and things like that, how logos are presented. Because usually those colors will be chosen to convey specific emotions, kind of like what you said. So the easiest ones to think of are the color red, for example. That's more like a call to action or something that's really attention grabbing. That's why stop signs are red. That's why stoplights are red. And the stuff that really wants to grab your attention in that moment is usually red or a warmer color like that. Let's say the color green after that would be something more, not quite as calm as like a blue, but a little more, I guess it is calming as well, but it's more so, it grabs your attention, but not as harshly as red does. So you'll see green with a lot of ads that have to do with like recycling and things like that. Stuff that's important, but is more long-term and not so in the moment, I guess. And then blue is just, it's meant to make you feel good.
Yeah.
To be honest, because it's similar to the sky, similar to water. It's just something that gives you that really calming effect. So when you add that to your art, that's the feeling that comes off of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Wait, so what's your favorite color?
So my favorite color is actually red. Um, but funny enough, I don't use it a lot in my art.
You use a lot of cool tones?
Usually, yeah. Because I
Not like I've stocked some of the stuff. It's fine.
so I don't know. I think honestly, I think it's more so color combinations. That's more what I'm into. So
Okay.
when people ask me my favorite color, it's not necessarily red is my favorite color. It's the combination of red and black
Oh, cool.
specifically. I think it just creates a really strong contrast. So
Yeah. Weird question. Okay. Is there red in black?
see, that's that's a hard question to answer because technically black is like every color. So
Okay. I was just wondering. I saw a carpet one time in a dark light and it looked red. So I was just that's my brain just asking a question from my past.
see that goes back to that meme from years ago where it was like, is the dress blue or is it gold? You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about? So it's
yeah.
it's just how you perceive it. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah. That's funny. Have you ever seen improv or done any some people come here and they say that they've done like high school theater or anything like that. Have you ever done anything in that form of art?
I have not. Um, the closest I've ever gotten is I did plays in elementary school, like a lot of us have. Um, but you know, after that, towards like middle school and high school and college, I never really pursued it. Um, and I can't say I really know too many people that actually are into that field as well. So I haven't done much. No.
Is it, the follow-up question would be how do you use improvisation? How do you improvise in your everyday life or in your work?
I guess I'll start with my work. Because improvising is essentially um, taking, correct me if I'm wrong, but taking a concept, a very loose concept sometimes,
Mhm.
and kind of applying your own uh, spin on it, I
Yeah.
guess. Um, so that comes down to a lot of what an artist's style is. Um, and it's very apparent when people do fan art, let's say, because I do a lot of fan art as well. Because yeah, I could draw the characters and I could try to make them look as close to the original art that it's based on. But it's a lot more interesting when you can take that concept and spin it your own way.
Mhm.
So that's how I apply it there.
That's awesome. Yeah. So when you do fan art, because I'm a fan of fan art.
Okay.
So because there's just so it's really cool to see, one concept turned into like a million different concepts.
Right.
So what is why the fan art? Is it just because you're a fan of the original piece or the original show or person or anything like that? Or is it more like an ideas thing?
It's a little bit of both
Mhm.
because like I said earlier, a lot of TV, cartoons, and even video games are a lot of there are a lot of inspiration behind what I do, not just for art, but for a lot of things. Um, so I kind of it's kind of an interesting way for me to see how much I've improved, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because like I said, I've drawn a lot of that stuff as a kid. So when you're younger, you try to, mimic that style, right?
Mhm.
As closely as you can. And sometimes that even comes down to just tracing it right off the page. Um, and now that I'm older, it's interesting to see those same characters done in the way that I draw now.
Yeah.
Because you can tell that it's that character, but you can tell that I'm the one who drew it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's cool to see, your own progress happen kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, watching us do our first show to now, it's like, oh, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
There's so many different things happening. um, so I want to ask you about your streaming. So games. I'm a huge game person with improv and the screen, you know?
Okay.
So tell me what it is about playing that keeps you doing it. What is it?
Basically, it's an excuse for me to make time for the games that I want to play. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're adults now. Our time is very few and far between. Our free time, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's, I try to stream at least once a week. So that's one block of time that I can just sit down and just kind of just run through whatever I want to do. And I'm going to do that regardless because I love playing video games. But being able to block out that time and also share it with my friends is just a great way for me to kind of have that restful period, I guess, after the long week,
Yeah, definitely. And how long have you been gaming? Has it been like since you were little or?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think. The earliest game I remember playing was on the Sega Genesis, which is a very old system. So it's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, essentially.
And what's the feeling you get from gaming?
So for me, it's mostly relaxation. I use it as a way to kind of just decompress. But along with that, depending on the game, is also just an escape. Because there are a lot of games, especially now with the more advanced ones, that are very immersive in their environments and even their storylines as well. So it's great to just kind of leave my own world for a second and kind of jump into another one and just kind of spend as much time as I want to over there. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. So I'm gonna ask you a question about tacos.
okay.
Because it's Talk About It Tuesday. If you were having your last meal, right? It's like, oh no, the world's about to end. And it had to be tacos. How how would you give your order for your last taco? You could have literally anything you want in this taco.
Anything on the taco.
Anything.
So this is gonna be tough because I'm gonna cheat a little bit because honestly, I eat my tacos like a burrito. I have a soft tortilla and I wrap it up, or else it's gonna fall apart if I don't do that. So basically, I would try to just cram as much food as I can into that tortilla so I can still wrap it up. So you have to have the lettuce, the tomato, the cheese. That's the essentials, right? So I guess I would start with that. Maybe sour cream also. But then instead of just your typical beef or your chicken, I think I would go shrimp, honestly. I think shrimp's my favorite seafood. And then
Nice.
I have room for more, but what's gonna go good with that? I guess we'll just go shrimp, just overload it on shrimp, and then I'll be
Nice.
happy.
Nice.
That's what I've got.
Cool. And then what was your final words before taking that bite be?
Bottoms up.
Nice.
That's it. It's over.
Final words, bottoms up. We'll just have it clearly there on your epitaph.
Yep. I'll take it.
100%, yeah. And if I didn't know you at all and you were just walking down the street, right? What can't I tell just by looking at you, whether it be a fun fact or a little secret to yourself or literally anything?
I have never left the country.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing that people are very surprised by. Usually, before a couple years ago, I would say I'd never left the East Coast, which is where I'm at right now. But I did go to California once. But besides that, I'm not a huge traveler.
Oh, okay. You're like a homebody more.
Yep.
If someone was wanting to go into the arts, what's something that you would say to someone like trying to dip their toes into it?
First of all, I would say, figure out what you like. Figure out what interests you, not necessarily what kind of art interests you, but
Mhm.
just anything. Think about what interests you and how, I guess, you can apply that passion to an art form, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that could be hand-drawn art, that could be improv, that could be anything really. Just kind of follow what you're into. And then also just trust the process. I
Mhm.
think that's a huge one. So when you start doing something, you're not going to be great overnight. I'm
Mhm.
not even necessarily where I want to be, and I've been drawing for years. Um, so you got to trust it. If you put in that work as much as you can, it's going to get better, and you have to believe that. So
Yeah, definitely sticking with it 100%. I didn't think I was going to stick with theater. I was going to go into psychology in college and
and
do the
look where you are
whole,
now.
and ta-da. Look at me now, people. Um, yeah, definitely. And what kind of things do you stream on your Twitch channel?
So I mainly stream RPG video games. So that's a lot of like Final Fantasies and Zeldas and things like that. I also stream a lot of fighting games, and I also stream art occasionally. So
Nice. Awesome. What are ways that people can keep up with you in your artistic journey?
so the best place to go is Instagram. Um, every time every time I draw something, it always goes there. That's where it goes first, and that's at James T Design. Um, and then I'm also on Twitter as well, also at James T Design. So
Yay, easy to find. Good.
yep.
Yeah, definitely 100% check out James's Twitch channel, especially when he's doing those art streams. It's really fun and relaxing to watch, especially if you're doing some work or homework. He's great little buddy to have in the corner, you know. Uh, so thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Thank you. If you guys would like to take any improv classes, we are offering hybrid and in-person kids, teens, and adult classes. So you could be anywhere in the world or in South Florida and take classes with us. Go to www.thisisimprov.com to sign up today. If you like histories, mysteries, and ghost stories, please make sure to check out our podcast. This is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about the wacky, weird, and very spectacular world of Florida. We also have our walking tours going on, our historical and ghost tours of Davie. Our comedy tours are currently live, happening every second week of the month. So, make sure to go to www.thisistours.com and you can sign up today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing, glorious, and wonderful rest of your day. Make sure to eat some tacos. It is Taco Tuesday. Thank you again, James.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.